So this video is about lighting. I'll offer you some tips about that. So to start with, I want to just talk about there's the different lights that are available to you. They're pretty straightforward. In your scene, by default, you'll have a directional light. It basically imitates a sun. I can add other kinds of lights here, light. So the point light, pull it into the scene so I can actually see it. And I'll turn off this directional light to give you better visualization. So here's our point light. It basically imitates a light bulb. You can change the range and the intensity of the light like that. You can also create spotlights. Again, works exactly as you would expect. It has a spot angle and range. Oh, we're not. It's important to look at your project from different angles. And here we go. Okay, and I'll get rid of this point light so we can see. So spotlight looks like a spotlight. You can also add a cookie. I don't know if there's any. So you can sometimes add a texture to your lights in order to change the way it renders, but you need a really specific kind of texture. So in general, lights have mostly the same settings. The directional light doesn't have range, just intensity. That's because it imitates the sun and it's supposed to light everything in your scene. You can change the shadows. So no shadows is the fastest to render, but soft shadows probably looks the best. And this affects the lights based on its angle as well. We'll increase the intensity just a little bit. Let's see. Our point light can also cast shadows. If you want to have a bunch of different lights with shadows, but you're having performance issues, you can try switching them to hard shadows. They don't look quite as nice. The soft shadows will soften the edges of the shadows. But the hard shadows are a lot more performant. We can also change, again, the intensity, the range, whatever, for all these different kinds of lights. So another setting that you can play with is, or set of settings is in the lighting window. And if you don't see it, you can find it, window, rendering, lighting settings. So we can have some kind of ambient light or environment lighting. By default, it comes from the skybox that you have set. I find it doesn't really seem to do very much. I prefer to use color, which just affects the light in the whole scene evenly with the color. So you can kind of also tint your whole scene this way too. Or you can use a gradient, which I set to a bunch of weird things, but basically has different lights for below. Things can be lit from below and above in different kind of colors. But it's best to be sort of subtle with these settings. I'm going to switch it back to color and just black for now so that we can just kind of focus on these other lights that we're working with. So if you've taken a class on video production, a lot of the same ideas about lighting a scene kind of apply. You'll want to use different lights coming from different directions, and even in different colors to add definition to your objects. Can reduce the strength of this shadow, the range. So for instance, to light this house in a nice way, I'm going to use probably 3 different lights at 3 different points around it. You don't want it to be too intense necessarily. Think about, using lights to give your objects definition, mood, and so on. That's already looking pretty compelling, I would say. But we can also change the color of lights. And so this is another area where you'll want to think about, you know, your color palette in general for the scene. What's the mood you're trying to go for? Use complementary or you know, colors that work well together with some kind of intentional logic. I think, you know, the kind of classic thing on movie posters is that blue and orange look good together. So this could maybe work well for some kind of night scene. And you'll want to, you know, adjust the intensity of the lights as well. So you can think about, you know, range versus intensity. You can have a light that's very dim but extends very far, and then lights that are smaller and are very bright call your attention to certain things. So this is a really useful tool for composing your scenes, drawing the user's eye to certain things based just on the lighting alone. Yeah. Also, think about your use of shadows. Not all of your lights have to cast shadows. I think this kind of looks a little strange, these big extending things shooting outwards. So I'll just turn off the shadows for that and maybe increase the strength of this one. I think this one has the best looking shadows actually, so I'll get rid of those. Okay, so that's a pretty good looking scene. I'd maybe even, whoa. Yeah. So there you go. You can get some really moody looking lighting, and with just a few basic things, it helps to have models with nice details and things, of course. But good lighting can really go a long way. And also using it thoughtfully with your post-processing effects, which I cover in another video. We can turn on depth of field doesn't work with the orthographic camera, but a little vignette, so it darkens the corners a little bit. A little bit of bloom. Whoa. So you can see that makes these little shiny parts glow. You can change the threshold too. Whoa. Maybe reduce the intensity. It's pretty extreme. And increase the threshold. We'll get interesting results. You can just reset it and see. Intensity, threshold. Oh yeah, reduce the threshold. There we go. And then also, shadows are a really important way to make your objects seem grounded, but using the ambient occlusion thoughtfully can also really help, although it doesn't look that good here for some reason. Anyway, that's it for lighting.